Okay, here is my Zur the Enchanter EDH deck. Of course, you have here Zur the General. He's probably one of the more broken generals they've ever printed. When he attacks, you can search your library for any enchantment card with the converted mana cost 3 or less and put that card into play. This gets around Shroud, it gets around all sorts of other evasion techniques, and it's really, really good. Lands. 2 basic plains, 2 basic islands, 2 basic swamps, Tundra, Underground Sea, Scrubland, Hallowed Fountain, Watery Grave, Godless Shrine. We got some fetches here. I like to run, we got all the on-color ones. These are great because they can grab any of your 6 dual lands. The on-color ones can. Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta, Marsh Flats. I like to run all the blue ones because blue is the most prominent color in my deck. So we have Misty Rainforest, Scalding Tarn. We have 1 black, 1 Verdent Catacombs. This can grab 4 of your dual lands, which is good. Arid Mesa, any white dual land, again, any which is good, 4 of them again with this guy. Here we have some black dual lands, black and blue dual lands rather. Darkslick Shores, Creeping Tar Pit, Drowned Catacomb, Sunken Ruins, white blue dual lands, Seachrome Coast, Celestial Colonnade, Glacial Fortress, Mystic Gate. Command Tower, gotta have it. Arcane Sanctum, Reflecting Pool. A couple land destruction cards here, you gotta have them. Strip Mine, Wasteland. Again, almost obligatory, the Reliquary Tower. You draw lots of cards in this format. Ancient Tomb. A lot of people hate this card in this format. I take sometimes 10 damage a game, but usually the advantage is worth the damage. Inkmoth Nexus, win games out of nowhere with this card. Unbelievably awesome land. Vesuva, copy any land. Maze of Ith. Alright, these are the Zur targets that I use. I usually try to fetch up Necropotence first. Drawing cards is awesome. Bitter Blossom. Some people don't know what to think when they see this card hit the table the first time, but then they see this come down and they usually cry. Contamination. It's basically like it makes everything produce only black mana, and it's really hard to deal with enchantments when you can only produce black mana. Animate Dead. Awesome card. Zur buff, Daybreak Coronet, give them lots of abilities. Imperial Armor, usually have a big hand with this deck, so makes Zur huge. Kill somebody. Gives Zur double strike. Aura of Silence. It doubles as a removal spell and a sort of like a lock stall spell for artifacts, enchantments, makes them cost 2 more. It's really good. Greater Auramancy, give all your enchantments other than this Shroud. Prison Term, lock down a general. Oblivion Ring, remove something. Solitary Confinement works great with Necropotence. You basically can just sit back and draw cards and not worry about anything. Diplomatic Immunity, gives her a Shroud. Standstill, draw cards, force your opponent into doing weird things. Copy Enchantment, copy any enchantment. Still the Godhead, gives her +2/+2 and unblockability. Treachery. Can't fetch this with Zur, but I have other ways to cheat this out, and it's good on its own. Game changer. In some instances, it's really good. Eldrazi Conscription. Again, this card can just win games out of nowhere, and there's ways to cheat it into play. Alright, Mana acceleration, got a couple artifacts that do that for us. Lotus Petal, it's good because you draw lots of cards. Soul Ring, gotta have it. Darksteel Ingot, really good. Utility artifacts, Library of Lang, so it acts as a doubler as a second Reliquary Tower. Ivory Tower, again, lots of life. Crucible of Worlds, bring all your fetch lands and your strip mine and wasteland back from the graveyard. Lightning Greaves, Sword of Feast and Famine, Batterskull. Now we're on to the counter spells. We have Counterspell, Muddle the Mixture, transmute for anything that costs 2. Mana Drain, awesome. Stoic Rebuttal, Hinder, Forbid, Cryptic Command, Force of Will, and now we have some spot removal here. This is some spot removal. Swords of Plowshares, Path to Exile, Condemn. Card draw. We have Brainstorm, of course, best card draw in the format. Limdoodle's Vault. Stack your deck, it's pretty handy. The Tutors, Enlightened Tutor, Mystical Tutor, Vampiric Tutor. And then we get right into the sorceries here, and we have Demonic Tutor. Damnation, wipe the board. Wrath of God, wipe the board. Winds of Wrath, works really great with Zur, destroy all non-enchanted creatures. Vindicate, blow up anything. Bribery, steal a fatty out of someone's library and put it into play under your control. How's that bad? Time Warp, take another turn. Tunnel Vision, yes, I'm an evil person and I like to deck people, but also you can use this to cast on yourself, and you usually search up Open the Vaults and then just put a huge chunk of your library into your graveyard and recur it. It's a pretty nasty trick. Open the Vaults, wins a lot of games. Jace, it's Jace. These are my creatures now. Stoneforge Mystic, Academy Rector. I use her to get some of those big fat enchantments out. Sun Titan, recur lots of things from the graveyard. All my enchantments essentially cost 3 or less, so this guy picks up all of them, with the exception of Treachery and Eldrazi Conscription. Snapcaster Mage, brings back all those awesome tutors, brings back all those awesome counter spells. This guy's an all-star. Phantasmal Image, 2 mana answer to so many things, and it also just copies all the best creatures in the game for 2 mana. It's a great card. Trinket Mage, I got a pretty good Trinket Mage package. I use this guy to search up either Library of Lang, Soul Ring, or what's the other thing? Ivory Tower. Thank you. Phyrexian Metamorph. Again, copying people's generals is never bad. Copying people's mana doublers is never bad. Copying people's swords is never bad. Consecrated Sphinx, probably the most stupid and broken card in EDH. Sovereigns of Lost Alara. Again, this lets me grab those any enchantments out, any buffs, and it also lets me get Eldrazi Conscription. It's pretty awesome when you attack with Zur, you grab Eldrazi Conscription and Battle Mastery. First you have Our Lady Stoneforge Mystic here, and she can fetch up the following equipment package. Lightning Greaves, Sword of Feast and Famine, Batterskull. Batterskull is awesome to get early game because typically you are going to try to fetch Necropotence. The life gain that you can get out of this guy is well worth having it in the deck. This deck typically draws lots of cards, so the interaction between Library and Lang, and say something like Ivory Tower is awesome. You gain lots of life through just this 2 combination of cards here. And that can be great if you have both of these out and Necropotence on the board at the same time. You gain lots of life, draw tons of cards. Academy Rector. Now, a lot of people don't know what to think when they see her hit the board, but there's a lot of ways you can win the game with her. Like, just say, for instance, you have a Inkmoth Nexus on the board. You can activate that, blow up your own Academy Rector, attach Eldrazi Conscription to your Inkmoth Nexus, and swing for 1 shot. So she's scary. She fetches, obviously, Eldrazi Conscription and also Treachery. So you kill her, I can take you fatty. Talk a little bit about Zur. Typically, I try to fetch out Necropotence first because it's just the best card in my opinion. So typically, my Zur game plan would be something like this. I would go Necropotence, Solitary Confinement if I could get that off, and then basically I can't be the target of spells or abilities, prevent all damage that would be dealt to me, and I skip my draw step, and I have to discard a card at the beginning of my draw step. At the beginning of my upkeep, rather. So with these 2 cards in play, essentially, like you can just sit back and draw cards, and no one can do anything to you. It's pretty brutal. And then after that comes down, ideally this would happen, and then you just won't be able to do anything to Zur. And then Imperial Armor, he'll become huge, and then he'll have Battle Mastery, and he'll have Double Strike, and he'll be killing whatever he swings at in 1 hit. So there's that arrangement, and then, you can just have Zur out and just have him sort of innocuously sitting there, and in comes Sovereigns of Alara, and you get 1 swing off with Zur, and that fetches up, your Battle Mastery and your Eldrazi Conscription, and things just get pretty scary from that point forward. The other things the deck does that people don't like: Bitter Blossom with Contamination. What this does is it locks out, basically, when you tap lands, they produce only black with this combination in play. I took out Armageddon, thinking I was being nice putting this in over it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not nice. Another way you can win the game is just beating with manlands, and these 3 are pretty good. Creeping Tar Pit can't be blocked, kills enemy Jays is pretty good. Enemy Planeswalkers in general. Inkmoth Nexus, poisonous flying land. It's pretty evil with some of those big equipments on board. Celestial Colonnade, another big beater. Alright, here's a card we gotta talk a little bit about: Tunnel Vision. Alright. You can pretty easily deck somebody with this in 1 shot, and I will often tunnel vision myself and name Open the Vaults. And what this does is it will grind a huge portion of my library into my graveyard, and then Open the Vaults will recur all these nasty enchantments and artifacts that I have in my deck onto the battlefield. So basically, if I resolve this combination, it's essentially game. Thanks for watching my deck tech on Zur the Enchanter. This is The Spikes, Episode 1. Over.